Good evening, everybody. My name is Mr. Ryan Quinn, and I'm the 6th grade orchestra teacher at Larson, and I'm also the 9, 10, 11, 12 orchestra teacher here at Athens High School. I wanted to thank you for being so flexible and coming here this evening instead of coming to Larson. Even after 13 years of teaching and 10 years here in the Troy School District, I'm still learning new things. This is the largest 6th grade class I've ever had. Yeah. My largest before this was about 66 kids, and we are at 82 strong today. So yeah, it's an amazing problem to have, but it's a little bit of logistical things to work out. So thankfully, and I apologize that our stage seems kind of crowded. Our Athens Orchestra concert is tomorrow evening, and they had a dress rehearsal today. So we had the stage was available. Mr. Gino Minchella, our auditorium manager here, was able to make it work. So thank you so much for coming to Athens this evening. I'm sure you are missing those Larson tables to sit at, but these will just have to do, I suppose. We are also being live streamed on YouTube. If you'd like to watch this later on, both myself and Mrs. Murphy have posted this link to YouTube, on Schoology rather, YouTube to Schoology. They do a really amazing job with all the cameras and the great lights here. So we're very, very fortunate to have such a wonderful place here at Athens. So thank you for your flexibility. I appreciate that. The 6th graders, we're going to play a handful of songs for you this evening. I'm going to explain each one, especially at this playing level. It's really hard to kind of understand what we go through on a day-to-day basis in the room because the product is a 12-measure song that lasts 25 seconds. And that takes us quite a bit of time to learn. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of insight as to what we've been doing in the room. We started off the year, we start right from the very beginning and we plow through everything that they've already learned so far. So we're going to play a handful of tunes for you, short ones out of their Essential Elements book. This first one, Dreidel, that we're going to play for you, if you were to look in the book and if you were to look at what they're looking at, it's really large notes with all the notes written in, really, really easy stuff to learn. So this is what we started with back in early September, late August. So this is Dreidel. Fast forward 6 weeks later. The next one we're going to play for you is Christopher's Tune. And if you could compare Dreidel and Christopher's Tune side by side, they look very different. Christopher's Tune looks like, actually physically looks more like music that they would play later on in their years. It does not look like beginning music anymore. No more note names, no more letter numbers, no more finger numbers. We're truly learning to read this other language and interpret it and what it means for both the right hand and the left hand and the bow directions and the symbols and the posture and all that stuff going on at once. So this is Christopher's Tune. Again, this is like, I kind of feel the need to explain because if we were to just do that, you're like, oh, I came here for, okay, all right, here we go. So especially if your family is not musically inclined or if this is your first child going through our music program here, it's nice to kind of know what we're also doing in the classroom. As they flip to the next tune, what we're doing next, the next two pieces are what we call duets. So one line is written to play one thing, another line is written to play something similar but not quite the same, and then it's designed for the two of them to be played together. We call this two-part, meaning that we are now, instead of playing something in unison, which you just heard twice, we're going to play, this is Can. We're going to play it 3 times for you. We're going to play the melody part, we're going to play the harmony, and then they're going to split up into 2 parts. This is getting us kind of warmed up for playing orchestral music, which our 7th grade and our 8th grade do, that's split into 5 parts. So this is our 2-part music. This is Can. Nice and slow. Listen, just like we did before. Okay? A part, B part, A part. Right? Instruments up. Bum, 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 bum. Ready, and... Okay. So if you were not aware, I see these kids every other day. They rotate their orchestra class with their gym class. So if you are in the even day orchestra class, stand up. So I see these kids on even days. Go ahead, sit down. If you're in the odd day orchestra class, stand up. And I see these kids on odd days. Thank you. You can sit back down. Thank you. And I appreciate you dropping them off at 6 p.m. today because I had to tune all 82 of them, and then we had to practice for the first time ever together. So that lasted a grand total of a 15-minute rehearsal. So they are doing extraordinarily well this evening. So hats off to them for sure. The next duet, another duet in 2 parts we're going to play for you is called Boil 'em Cabbage. This is a fiddle tune. The cool thing about this one is that the A part and the B part can be played at the same time because they're on 2 separate strings. This is also a great tune that we had a lot of fun with. On those really nice warm days in the fall, we would memorize this real quick and then go outside and play outside. And I would usually make them like spin backwards while they were playing it, or they had to march in a circle to play it. So this is just a fun little tune that we all got to learn pretty quickly together and memorize together. So this is Boil 'em Cabbage. Like I said, that one's on 2 strings, so that really works on our fine motor skills. They have to actually like really raise up and play on their fingertips to let the open string ring underneath that. So that was a really fun piece to learn. So now we've brought you up to speed to the present. We are going to play for you our first piece of orchestral music together. This is called Rustic Dance. And now we are no longer doing 2-part, we're doing 5-part. So there is a violin part. Let's see, odd day violin, stand up. You guys played 1 violin part. Good. And then sit back down. That's 1. And then even day violin, stand up. They play something else. Violas, stand up. They play something else. Cellos, stand up. They played something else. And bass, sit down. They played something else. So all of this goes on at the exact same time in the exact same room together. Unlike math or science, where we're all learning the same thing at the same time, we're learning 5 things at once, all going on at the same time. It seems very chaotic in the room, and a lot of people ask me how I can handle it, and if I have a lot of Advil. But truly, I love this part, where we're really starting to make this orchestral music that you're really going to hear with the 7th grade and then with the 8th grade again, and then moving forward on into the high school. So this is Rustic Dance. And for our next trick, ready, set, go. Slow down. Make sure you have all your stuff. Check under your chairs. Let the bases go first.
Good evening. Sixth graders, I just want to say, wow, you did an awesome job. Way to go. And it's so wonderful to see so many of you up on stage. I hope that you all will continue and be a part of our 7th and our 8th grade orchestras. This gives you a chance to see what you're up for, the kinds of music that you can play as you continue your music studies. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Claire Murphy. I teach the 7th and 8th grade here at Larson. I also teach over at Smith. I teach 6th and the advanced orchestra over there. So it's great to be here tonight and share what we've been doing since the beginning of the year. In front of you, we have our 7th graders, our chamber orchestra. We do meet every day, so it gives us a chance to dive into our pieces a little bit more, play some more challenging pieces. And just like the 6th graders, their last piece was in 5 parts, so are all of our pieces that we play. We've been working on refining some of our music reading, our ensemble playing, following a conductor, doing lots of dynamic contrast, and the parts are getting a lot more complicated, intricate, where maybe the sections are not doubling. Sometimes you'll find one violin part and the viola part are the same, or the violin parts are similar. Well, now we're getting into some really very different rhythms and notes throughout the piece. So we have 3 pieces we're going to play for you. We're going to start with a December fanfare. Seems fitting for our concert today. And that's actually the last piece that we've learned. It's probably the most complicated, but we thought it was a good piece to start with. And then we're going to jump to our first piece, which is that we learned which is called Tangent for Strings, and lots of new techniques that we learned to play that. And then we're going to end with Enter the Laureates. So enjoy the 7th grade portion of our concert. Thank you. I wanted to take a minute to say a couple things. First of all, I do want to thank Mr. Quin for making this happen. I think we're all enjoying these seats more than the cafeteria seats. He did all the arrangements to make sure that this happened. So I really would like to thank him and give him a big round of applause because I know we appreciate it. So I also want to paint a picture for you in case you're not familiar with our room at Larson. Is not a flat floor. We have tiers. And so this is the very first time this group has performed on a flat floor together, this piece. We didn't have a rehearsal here. And so it takes a little bit of getting used to. It sounds different. It feels different. I look different. I think I'm taller, aren't I? Which is always a great thing. So they have to adjust with what the surroundings are. And so we're not always going to perform in a spot that's like our room. And sixth graders, I'm sure you felt the same thing. It was a little bit different to perform on a flat floor. Could you see Mr. Quinn okay? Yeah, okay. All right, so it's possible. Anyway, I just wanted to point out those couple little things, but we're going to continue on with Tangents for Strings. All right, so our final group today is our advanced orchestra. This is all eighth graders this year, and they just needed a little bit more space. Apparently, they're bigger and need room to move, which is great because I want to see them moving. But we have three pieces for you this evening. The first one is called A Glimpse of Winter. I always forget the name of that. A Glimpse of Winter. And the second one is called Celtica. I'll talk a little bit about that before we play. And then our final piece is going to be Winter Solstice. So this is our advanced orchestra. And thank you for your patience on the tuning, because for those of you who aren't so familiar with stringed instruments hate this weather. And when we're into the cold and then into the warm and back and forth, they take a little bit of time to adjust, and then they come out of tune easily, especially if we knock it just a little bit. So it's bound to happen when we're changing locations on where we're performing. So thank you for your patience, but here is our final part of the program. All right. For our next piece, we have, it's called Celtica, and this is a piece that's written for string orchestra with some solo parts. So we have two of our violinists, Gabby and Yunjin, have been practicing and on their own and putting these parts together that they're going to solo with our orchestra as we accompany. So I'm going to let them get themselves set up. First violins, if you move forward, I have to tune a bass. Haven't these orchestra students worked so hard to get this concert ready? Give them all a big round of applause. And I know it's cold outside. However, it's never too cold for ice cream. And I think that they've worked very, very hard and might deserve a little something, maybe Oberweis or Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen closes at 8:30, we already checked. And I think Oberweis might be open a little bit longer, but I hope to see all of you at one of those two places after the concert. This is our last piece, it's called Winter Solstice. Have an awesome holiday season, everybody. And I look forward to seeing you at our next concert. I'm not sure when it is. February for these guys, and I think March for everybody else. So thank you and have a wonderful night.
Okay, we're gonna try to direct traffic just a little bit here to make things a little bit easy on both parents and students. So how about we let the sixth graders go so they can go and pack up? Check under your chairs, please. Make sure you have everything you need. All of these doors along the back wall here all lead straight out into the cafeteria for our parents and family members that are coming here. Your child will meet you in the cafeteria, okay? All right, let's go ahead, seventh graders. Do you remember where you came in, seventh grade? Go that way. If all the parents could just wait in the cafeteria, your child will meet you in the cafeteria. Just give our kids a couple of minutes head start. Let our kids go ahead and get out before the families start to leave to give them a little bit of a head start. Thank you, thank you.